back, Business Day is evolving to better service its audience. Now, the newspaper, with a legacy that dates back to 1985, is debuting a new design with a compact size, succinct analysis, and also a user-friendly format, making it easier to keep informed in any situation. So we're joined in studio by Tiisetso Motsoeneng, who's the acting editor of Business Day. Tiisetso, hi, good to have you here. Welcome to 702.
Thank you very much, Ray. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to share the exciting news that we have at Business Day.
Okay, share the news. I've got the Business Day here in my hands, and I'm going to go through some of the articles with you.
Sure.
How is this going to change? Because this isn't a smaller sort of tabloid. This is a full-on broadsheet, so to speak, if I do it like that.
That's right, yes.
How are we going to change it?
Yeah, so basically we are striking a balance, a perfect balance between a broadsheet and a tabloid. So it's called the Berliner format.
Right.
So what you're gonna get is something that's easier to handle. This change really came about after reader feedback that sometimes you need the whole desk to read Business Day, even though it was the quality was there, the stories was there, the depth, the analysis, but it was cumbersome. You couldn't read it in the airplane or in Gautrain. But right now, with this change, basically what we're saying is that we listen to your feedback. Here's the format that's user-friendly, that's easy to handle, but we are not compromising on the quality, Ray. I must emphasize on that.
Good. Good. My favorite read.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
When is this happening? When will we see change?
You are going to see this change on Monday. So Monday will be the first time that you will be seeing it's a bold change, Ray, a completely new format. But as I said, you mentioned, I think before I came in, that we date back to 1985. We still practice the same journalism that we did then, where we throw articles forward. We give you analysis. We're not just recounting yesterday's event. So you're still going to get the same quality, the same analysis that you get, but it will be much easier to manage.
I have to ask the question, though, because when it comes to a newspaper, a lot of people will say newspapers are dying. Go online. Everybody else has. But you're not doing that. You're going the other way, and you're redesigning things. The physical newspaper.
Yeah. We are doubling down because we believe that people like yourself, like you say, it's very good sometimes to detox, from the digital storm, Ray, and just, grab a paper. There's magic there in, opening a newspaper and then turn off notifications and just read with no noise, nothing. So this is the newspaper for busy business leaders and decision makers. They know that there's a human being behind it who is carefully curating these articles so that they know that they're gonna get what is the most important for the day.
Right, I want to go through your Business Day this morning. I've been itching to ask you a few things. Budget Office shreds VAT hike, and it's the Parliamentary Budget Office, an independent body set up to analyse fiscal policies, has lambasted the National Treasury's reasoning for hiking VAT. This has been such a bone of contention. What is your take?
It is a hard topic. It really is. It has ignited quite a lot of debate. I think Business Day has weighed in, but just to talk about the story that we've written today, which is leading the paper, I won't give away too much because I still would like
the paper, guys.
to see your listeners go and grab the newspaper. But essentially, the budget office, the Parliamentary Budget Office, think of it as a sort of a referee in a rugby match. So they are independent, but they provide valuable analysis for MPs on fiscal policy and spending. So what happens is that they analyze this budget and they found that the reasoning behind the Treasury's decision to hike VAT doesn't quite fly. One of those reasons from Treasury, Ray, is that South Africa VAT rate is low compared to peer countries.
Yeah, yeah.
But however, the PBO says that you cannot compare South Africa. We may be peers, but you can't. Treasury is ignoring the wealth disparity in the country.
Let me put
So
you on the spot. Hold on. Let me put you on the
Sure.
spot. Where do we stand with that? Do we need to do this because we need to afford to pay our bills as government and as a country? Or is this pie in the sky? And really, guys, there's another solution. I'm putting you on the spot.
Look, I don't think at this juncture myself, as acting editor of Business Day, we've written about it before that there are other ways to raise money. There are other ways to cut wastages. You may have seen one of the articles that we've written. It's from Musi Maimane, the leader of BOSA, and also the chair of the Appropriation Committee, who has suddenly become a very powerful individual. So from his stance, you are probably going to see a report from the Appropriation Committee saying, well, instead of buying spreads and salads and stuff at the braai, why don't we just get Vors roll, for example, so you can save a bit of money and then you make VAT unnecessary.
Yeah,
Don't-
yeah.
So, yeah.
There we go. There we go. Don't
Yeah.
make it the public's problem. SA's manufacturing sector delivering another disappointing performance for
Yeah.
Feb. Total production contracting 3.2% year on year. I'm worried about the man with the yellow hair in the United States and tariffs. This is not good news.
It's definitely not good news. The sector is really facing a double whammy of problems, Ray. I mean, you've got local issues, and then you have Trump on the other side. So what you have here, you've got Transnet really struggling to move goods across the country or even beyond the country, beyond our borders. So there's infrastructure problems here which are not doing us any favors. And then of course you've got the Trump tariff blitz. Yes, there is a pause, a 90-day pause in terms of where the tariffs are going, but 10% is still not insignificant if you think about it. Also considering that the industry it's already in trouble.
Sure.
So if you add 10%, you make our goods less competitive in those markets. So I think it's a call for this article. We are hoping that it would get policymakers talking about what things that we can control here at home, like fixing our infrastructure, fixing Transnet, and making it easier for businesses to work. There are certain things that we can't do.
Sure.
We don't have any means to control, but those that we can, then we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should. This is sort of one of your other stories. I'm just cherry picking some of your stories this morning. South Africans above the age of 50 facing an unsettling trend, a surge in suicides, surpassing death claims from accidents. It's something that Matteo has been talking about this morning concerning Discovery Life. They've got this new data that's out. But it just shows the pressures that are out there for those over the age of 50. Many face retrenchment. Many have their own businesses. The pie is getting smaller and smaller when it comes to jobs. What are you seeing?
Well, this data, this story is a really somber one for us. We are hoping that with this article, we can spark a conversation because this is about lives. This is about livelihoods as well. So we are hoping that with this article, we can get the conversation going. I mean, for one thing, this data is saying almost half of the unnatural death claims for people aged between 41 and 60 were due to suicide. I mean, to me, that's a crisis, and it's deepening. We are hoping with this article, people can start talking about the strategies we have, the strategies that the health department has in terms of tackling mental health issues. even reform? Does it have enough funding? Because at the end of the day, I'm sure you and I, Ray, have medical aid. We can probably afford to
Sure.
see a psychologist or some or people that
Yeah,
can help
yeah.
us with our mental health. But for the majority of people who may be facing retrenchments, as you say, this is going to be rough. And what they have, they've got public health facilities, which may not be enough for them.
Just hearing you say that, we've got a situation in our country where we've got between 17 to 19 million people who rely on social grants. Those are the figures. Do you see us turning this all around? We need to move from grants to job creation
Yep.
so people start working. We need to get people actively involved in our local economy.
Yeah.
Do you see this whole picture changing in the next decade?
Well, I do not have a crystal ball, but what I do know is that there is hope. There's hope. I think that's what defines most South Africans, particularly with the formation of the GNU. I think it was met with a wave of optimism. You could see it in the market. You could see it among citizens. There was a widespread, national goodwill in the formation of this GNU, and we are, the best sentiment in boardrooms was really high. I think at some point it was at about, 10-year high. So this is because there is hope that you will see the sweeping reforms moving faster. That is not to say the past administration hasn't pushed through, but these reforms, but you want them to move a little bit quicker so that you create opportunities for young people specifically to be able to be absorbed into the labor market. A growing economy just means that there is more people, the pie is bigger, and there's more people. More people are absorbed into the labor market.
We certainly do hope so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tiisetso Motsoeneng, thank you so much. Acting editor of the Business Day. Are you nervous for Monday?
Well, I'm excited more than nervous, Ray. I'm very excited, and I would encourage your readers to grab a copy of Business Day. This is your sanctuary from the digital noise. Grab a copy on Monday, even today, and just see what we have. We hope to inspire and spark conversations with our journalism.
Love it. Sanctuary from the digital noise. There we go. Tiisetso Motsoeneng, thank you so much. Acting editor of Business Day. We'll chat to you again, I'm sure, very soon, but we'll be watching on Monday.
EWN Traffic.
And this EWN Traffic is brought to you by South Africa.
Current events, developing stories,
Tough questions.
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.